Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Kingdom Eclipse here, back with another video, part 2 of our Godzilla card game deck tech series. Today we whipped up something pretty cool, not gonna lie. We have a King Ghidorah battle card, Gravity Beam strategy card combo deck. Now, for those of you guys who are familiar with the cards, great. Otherwise, we're gonna reread it real quick. We have King Ghidorah here, rank 8 battle card with 8,000 counter power with an insane effect. If you have a card named Gravity Beam in play, this card gains 20,000 combat power. You're looking at a total of 8,000 plus 20 for 28,000 combat power. That is insanely strong and incredibly high value for just 2 cards. Obviously the downside is it's rank 8. It's going to take you a while to get there. You need your opponent to be in the perfect position. If you take a look at Gravity Beam, it's a rank 5 strategy card that causes your opponent to discard until they have 3 cards remaining in their hand. So together, you play down the Gravity Beam strategy. You also have the King Ghidorah battle card out, 28k counter power, chunks your opponent pretty hard, and you're pretty much countering anything in the game that is not a rank 4 battle card, maybe with a little bit of support here and there. So this combo really interested me when I first saw it, and I really wanted to see how we can make a deck work to pull this combo off as consistently as possible, while also getting the best results and probably, the best performance from the deck. With that in mind, I cooked up a Godzilla Fest red monster card deck, and this is definitely one way you can play it. You could probably play like a blue deck since these guys are colorless cards. But I really cooked with this red deck, and I'm going to go ahead and explain why. As I mentioned, you want this combo as much as possible. Super strong combo, and our deck is just going to support that and to make sure that happens as consistently as possible. The big limiting factor here is that King Ghidorah is a rank 8 battle card. Unlike some of the other battle cards we have like Ghidorah, or Godzilla King of Monsters, or even Destroyer, which can come in with evolution. All those cards I just named can come in earlier than rank 8, right? You have Ghidorah, which can come in at a cheaper cost. If we take a look over here, what we're looking at with Ghidorah, it's a rank 8 battle card, right? But you can actually summon it earlier than your opponent being in rank 8. When playing this card from your hand, you can reduce its rank by 1 for each battle card of your zones. As I mentioned before, you have Destroyer, which can come in through evolution, but King Ghidorah is just hard locked at rank 8. So how are we going to get our opponent to consistently show up in rank 8 so that we can play this card when we need it? The answer is with these Godzilla Fest cards, our monster cards here that allow us to advance our opponent and take control of some of the movements they take to put them in favorable positions for ourselves. For instance, our rank 1 monster card. When this card advances into the same column as your opponent's monster card, advance your opponent's monster card by 1 zone. We have other cards such as Godzilla 2004. Enter, advance your opponent's monster card by 1 zone. It's a rank 3, but it can be bursted in as a rank 2. More options for you to advance your opponent. Additionally, we're also running 4 copies of Godzilla Landing. Simply put, advance the opponent's monster card by 1 zone. So you have 4 copies of Godzilla Landing, you have 4 copies of Godzilla 2004, which has the same effect. So you're basically running 8 copies of Godzilla Landing, that's how I like to look at it. You are also running your Godzilla Fest, rank 1 battle monster card, to go ahead and give you the opportunity to advance. So this is really how you're going to be controlling your opponent's positioning throughout the game, right? You're going to go ahead and push them, place them where you want. You also have your rank 2 Godzilla Fest monster card in your monster deck. At the beginning of your end phase of this card invaded, advance your opponent's monster card by 1 zone. So all of these cards that I just listed off are going to allow you to place your opponent closer or further on the board so that you can go ahead and get that rank 8 Ghidorah out when you need him to. Right? Your opponent can't just stall and sit and do auto advances to rank 8. You can force them to act, getting this card out. Now, how else are we making this deck more consistent? Well, we're running 4 Baragons and we're running 4 Rodans. We're also running 2 copies of Heat Ray Charge. This is a really strong and versatile card that's just going to allow you to draw 2, increase the resources available to you in your hand, get you to the cards you need to get to even faster. Baragon is going to go ahead and let you look at the top card of your deck. If you like it, you can leave it up there. Otherwise, you can discard it, put it in your discard pile. Again, this is going to help you fish for those King Ghidorahs. If you have gravity beams, it's going to help you fish for those gravity beams. If you have King Ghidorahs, it's going to let you assemble the pieces, put your deck together, get the hand that you want. Same thing with Rodan. On entry, if it's in the same column as your opponent's monster card, you basically get 2 of the Baragon effect. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck, you can put them back in any order or send them to discard. So if you're very early in the game and you reveal 2 rank 4 monster cards that you don't really need, just put them in discard. You're getting your King Ghidorah card and your Gravity Beam card that much faster. Of course, this combo is trying to win by countering, but any good deck that is going to be consistently winning is going to have the option to win by invasion as well. That's why we're running 1 copy of Heat Ray, so you can destroy battle cards in your opponent's zone 8, so you can go ahead and win through invasion. We're also running 1 copy of Destroy All Monsters, same reasoning, another versatile low-cost strategy card that's going to allow you to make paths for you to win. And then we're also running 2 copies of Ginza Annihilated. That way, you can stack Rage to destroy battle cards, keep you in the game, make sure you're not getting countered when you don't want to. It's also going to allow you to chip at your opponent's defenses so you can, once again, invade into Zone 8. Giant Condor and Mecha Godzilla are really here to just complement and support the deck. These are cards that I believe you could switch out and still have success with. The reason I have Giant Condor in here, me personally, I think this card is slept on. I think this is a really good card and a very strong card. But at the same time, I don't think you need 4 copies in a deck. I think that's a little overkill. Giant Condor dropping 10,000 counter power if it's in the same column is actually insane value from 1 card. It really just is, 10k. I mean, if you think about it, the strongest monster card, the strongest rank 4 monster card in the game has 37,000 threat power. Okay, so if you have 1 Giant Condor for 10,000, you have 1 King Ghidorah Gravity Beam combo for 28,000. You are countering every single monster card that exists in this game, regardless of rank, assuming no rage. Right? And even like a rank 3 monster card, 19,000 threat power. You would need 4 rage to get you to 29,000 in order to not get countered by a Giant Condor or King Ghidorah. That's insane resource investment. And just having the ability to threaten a 10,000 buff to your 28,000 combo is pretty strong. Keep in mind, you're also getting Baragon and Rodan counter power support. Mecha Godzilla, he's here because he's a pretty early option for battle cards. 4,000 rank 3, assuming you have your Awakening 4 trigger. That's pretty strong, you know, something to consider. If you have like a Baragon out and then you drop a Mecha Godzilla, you're threatening the ability to grow that Mecha Godzilla to 3,000. Maybe you can get a counter off and that your opponent has to respond by gaining rage and investing resources. Titanosaurus, he is, I think, a staple in most red decks. I feel similarly to Biolante in blue decks, especially evolution decks, you probably want like 1 or 2. Titanosaurus really just is an incredible value. Having played against Titanosaurus and seeing the options that this card gives you, it's just a lot of versatility and flexibility, allowing you to protect some of the cards that you value on your board. For example, having a King Ghidorah out, even after you counter your opponent, you're going to want it sitting there for as long as possible because it's very difficult to get another one out with it being rank 8. You have to expend some resources. It's going to be a couple turns before your opponent will get back to the position where you can play another one. So having the option to move that King Ghidorah around with Titanosaurus so that you're not trampling it and your opponent can't heat ray it, for example, based on position, is very valuable. So we're running 2 of him in here. In terms of monster cards, you know, we already looked into most of them what we're trying to do. But you'll see here we have Godzilla 1955 as a rank 4. Just as a burst option, so you can discard your opponent to 4 cards remaining in hand. Again, you're just playing in line with the control, controlling your opponent's resources, their options. Here with Gravity Beam, we're discarding down to 3. If you want to just continue to limit their resources, you know, on a turn you're not playing Gravity Beam, you're discarding them to 4. Same thing goes with Godzilla 2023. You can burst it 1 to have your opponent discard 4. You know, these are options that you have, and if they're not the best option for you in that time, then you can just go ahead and sack these cards for rage. One thing you can do is you can also add these Godzilla Fest cards into your main deck, and you could probably remove, you know, you could remove one Godzilla 1975, one Godzilla 1955 rank 4s, and you just put in 2 Godzilla Fest into your main deck. That way you also have options to swap between, okay, I want this rank 2 monster card, and next turn I'm going to go ahead and evolve, I'm going to switch back to Godzilla Fest. So those are all options for you. If you really want to full commit to just discarding your opponent's hand and just controlling their position and their resources in hand at all times, you can also add Space Beam in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Right, if we go to the card list, modify search, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Space Beam here. This is a card that synergizes with red. It synergizes with Rage. If your monster card has 2 or more Rage, your opponent discards cards until they have 2 cards remaining in hand. Again, it's just another stronger Gravity Beam. Granted, it is a 2 footprint card, so you're going to have to work around that. Maybe make some changes to like Godzilla Heat Ray Charge, for example. But it's really just going to allow you to synergize your rage building and your control of your opponent's resources. Titanosaurus is already liking you to build rage. You also are running 2 copies of Ginza Annihilated, which is wanting you to build rage. So fitting Space Beam in there is really just going to help you synergize with that strategy. But that's pretty much it. You know, this seems like a fun deck that I would absolutely want to try and build out. I mean, personally, I have I do have 2 giant condors. I have 2 heat charges or heat ray charge. I have 2 Rodans. I definitely don't have 4 King Ghidorahs. I have 1. But you know, it's a deck that I just see playing out pretty, you know, having pretty good amount of fun with it, and it's definitely a deck I'd want to try out. I don't know that this King Ghidorah Gravity Beam combo is going to be tournament winning, you know, left and right, strongest deck in the game. That's not why I built this deck. I built this deck because I was definitely intrigued by this Gravity Beam King Ghidorah combo. I wanted to see if it was possible to cook with it. This is definitely an option that I think would kind of lead to that. You definitely want to be able to have Baragon and Rodan support to look through your cards. You have Heat Ray Charge to draw 2. Yeah, you know, I just wanted to share this, bring out another deck tech video for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see any other decks built or want any other content related to Godzilla card game, just go ahead and like, sub, drop a comment down below, and we'll see what we can do. I have a couple of other ideas for videos. I want to go ahead and make more deck techs. I'm looking at a Destroy Evolution deck, and I will go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Take care.